my name is Pajka.
And my name is Aiko.
And for our ProjectCSGirls topic, we chose global health.
Specifically, the lack of clean, reliable energy sources and excessive CO2 in the air.
Current energy sources include fossil fuels, oil, coal, nuclear, and natural gases. As you can see, the most common energy sources are non-renewable, and the amount of energy we use is astronomical. As the world develops, so does our hunger for energy and our everyday lives.
However, the problem with these sources is that they cause explosions, oil spills, safety hazards, and destruction of ocean and land habitats. Not to mention, nuclear resources are radioactive, and when nuclear reactors melt down, people can die or become prone to cancer. According to Young People's Trust for the Environment, it is estimated that our non-renewable resource supply will diminish between 55 and 100 years.
Another problem is that they result in dangerous carbon emissions, which in turn creates CO2 in the atmosphere and global warming. In fact, carbon dioxide has reached its highest point in human history. In the year 2012 alone, around 9.7 billion tons of carbon was produced. At the same time, says BBC, the temperature of the world has greatly and steadily increased in a 5-year period.
In fact, in between 2030 and 2050, it is said that climate change will cause 250,000 additional deaths per year from malaria, heat stress, malnutrition, and more. Also, it is said that the U.S. will have to spend $2 to $4 billion per year by 2030 due to climate change, according to the World Health Organization. It is also projected to cause droughts in some areas and floods in others.
All of the alternate sources we currently use are geothermal, solar, wind, biomass, hydrogen, and hydroelectric. However, these resources are hardly used, and they cannot be stored, making harnessing energy difficult when the sun doesn't shine or the wind doesn't blow.
We found a multitude of current solutions for CO2 in the air, but none of them were very effective.
Our innovation is inspired by an artificial photosynthesis machine made by scientists in St. Lawrence University, a solar cell that produces methane through biomimicry created by Panasonic, an instrument to split carbon dioxide using UV in a vacuum created by professors at UC Davis, and a way to split water into hydrogen and oxygen without electrolysis, which requires electricity, discovered by Caltech researchers.
Our theoretical device, called conversion, is comprised of many aspects to ultimately convert CO2 and water into energy. First, it has 2 chambers connected by a cord. One chamber, a silica microporous material, infused with a base of manganese oxide and sodium with water. This is also called cell reaction chamber number 1. There's also a chamber of cobalt and carbon dioxide, called cell reaction chamber number 2. When sunlight hits our device, we use a filter that turns any light into something strong enough to trigger a reaction in the cell reaction chambers by making it coherent and collimated. Once the makeshift laser hits cell reaction chamber 1, an electron transfer will occur in the manganese oxide, meaning it will begin to shuttle sodium ions in and out of the water, causing the water to split under the high temperature and create 1 negatively charged oxygen atom and 2 positively charged hydrogen atoms. The oxygen is released back into the air, and the hydrogen is left needing something negative to grab onto in order to make it stable.
While all of this is going on, another reaction will be happening in the cell reaction chamber number 2, where there's a monochromatic filter that turns a concentrated sunlight into something that closely mimics a blue laser. This laser would trigger an electron transfer between the cobalt and carbon dioxide that would cause the carbon dioxide to become negatively charged. The hydrogen will then move through a semi-permeable membrane and latch on to the carbon dioxide to form formic acid. Finally, when a pressure valve notices the change in pressure as the 2 gases become a liquid, a trapdoor would open and the formic acid would be released into a 3rd chamber lined with palladium nanoparticles. Once the surface of the formic acid is decorated with palladium nanoparticles, it creates a fuel cell much similar to a battery that you can charge your phone with.
The impacts of our solution are great. After all, it's efficient, portable, stable, energy-dense, affordable, rapid, renewable, and only uses clean energy sources created only on elements we have an excessive amount of.
With the other efforts currently in place to reduce the amount of CO2 in the air, we can rid the world of the horrible effects of CO2. Thank you!